All right, everyone, welcome to Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. On today's show, we have a very special guest. We have singer Christi Lynn from Las Vegas, and she's going to tell us so much news, so much going on her life on this journey on the singing career. But there's so much to be told, which I'm looking forward to. So, welcome, Christi, onto the show.
Thank you so much, Joshua. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course, such an honor to have you on the show to share your story. But let's get started on chapter one of Christy Lynn. So,
Oh,
Christy, I mean, I bet a lot of people have seen your shows. They've heard the music, of course, you have different tribute bands, but like, what's the story behind you? How did this start for you back when you were probably young, like with the singing? If you'd like to share a bit about that.
yeah. So I'm actually born and raised in Dallas, Texas. And I started off singing country music as a little girl. I sang all around the Texas Opry circuit. I did carnivals, I did
What?
fairs, I
That's
did
cool.
anywhere that anybody would have me. Yeah, yeah. I started really, really young. Actually, to back up just a little bit, believe it or not, I actually started off singing opera. I always wanted to be an opera singer.
Opera,
And so my
really?
parents got me vocal lessons. Yes, yes. I was like obsessed
That's
with opera
cool.
as a kid, and I did choir in school and stuff. Yeah, and so my parents got me this vocal coach that was an opera singer in Chicago in the 60s, and he was now running like these vocal lessons in the Dallas musical theater scene. And so they got me with him. And funny story, I took with him for a really long time, and I'm from a town actually outside of Dallas called Garland, and no one's probably ever heard of Garland, Texas. It's just about 20 minutes east of downtown Dallas. Well, Leanne
Okay.
Rhymes is from Garland.
Oh, she is.
And
That's cool.
one day I had yeah, she is. And she's also one of my idols.
Oh, is she?
But
Okay.
one weekend I'd had a sleepover with some girlfriends from school. I was a little kid, and as the mom was driving me home, she turned on the radio and I just hear the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my entire life. And it just like stopped me in my tracks. And
Wow.
I was like, what is that? And the mom goes, oh, that's that little girl from Garland. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, people from Garland don't end up on the radio or make it famous. We're a small little, town in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And so all of a sudden I just became obsessed. I went and got her CD back, when you had to go to the mall and actually buy a
Oh,
CD
yeah.
for 20 bucks,
FYE, Sam Goody,
And
Tower Records.
yes. Yes, before, YouTube and
Yeah, yeah.
iTunes and all that stuff.
Well,
I'm
even
probably aging
Walmart.
myself here, but
Yeah, no, even Walmart and Kmart would used to have CDs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to Best Buy, or they used to have those Blockbuster musics in the mall where you could go listen in the back, with your
Yeah,
headset. But
that's
anyway,
true.
I went
Yeah.
and I bought Leanne's CD. I became obsessed, and I walked into my
Wow.
vocal coach's studio, and I was like, I don't want to do opera anymore. I want to do this. And he was like, what? And I was like, I want to do this. I want to sing country. I want to do what this little girl from Garland did. And I became obsessed. And so he's like, okay, well, go home, work on it, work on some country songs. Let's see what you can do. And so my parents bought me this karaoke machine, and it came with cassette tapes. This was
Oh, that's cool.
before, they were,
Yeah.
high tech like they are today. And so it came with one little cassette tape, and I remember it had like Bonnie Raitt, something to talk about on it. It had like I Love a Rainy Night. It just had like some just sporadic random songs on it.
Wow.
And I just learned them all. And I just became obsessed with singing country music. And I went into his studio. He recorded me doing a couple songs. He said, I think you found your niche. He was like, I mean, you're good at opera, but I kind of think you found something that you're
Yeah.
good at. And so I said, okay. And for the next several years, I just locked myself in my bedroom with a boombox and a bunch of Leanne CDs. And I just tried to hit those high notes and expand that range. And then I eventually, found Faith Hill and Trisha Yearwood and Martina McBride and all those powerhouses from the 90s. And I just wanted to be like them. And so that's when I started doing the Opry circuit and doing the country music thing. And then when I turned 18 and I graduated from high school, My parents, instead of, most kids, like when they turned 18, like in my school, they were getting a car, or their parents were going to pay for a, like a trip to
Yeah.
Cancun or,
Right.
something fun, right? I said, will you guys pay for me to record an album? And they're like, okay. So that was my graduation present was a CD. Actually, I have it right here. I don't know if you
Are
can
you
see it,
serious?
but that was
Oh,
my
heck
first
yeah.
CD. That was my first CD. I
Wow.
wanted to show it to you today. I'm
Heck
like,
yeah. First
yeah, so I
CD.
was I was 19 when I
Yeah.
released this. And funny enough, okay, I'm gonna tell you a little insider information here. It says Christi Lynn Brinkley, as you'll see on the
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, my actual name is Christi Lynn Brinkley.
Okay.
But and I used to perform as Christi Lynn Brinkley, but when I was like 18, I was singing at this nightclub and they put my name up on the marquee outside. And this tour bus of tourists from Japan showed up thinking that the supermodel Christy Brinkley was going to be performing that night. It was the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened in my whole life. They were so sweet. I mean, they still like listened to me. They took pictures. They
Oh
wanted my
wow, that's
autograph.
cool.
They were all so cute. But I went home that night and I said to my mom and dad, I was like, "Do y'all mind if I drop the Brinkley and just go by Christy Lynn?" And they're like, "Yeah, like we totally get
Yeah.
it." So I haven't been Christy Lynn Brinkley since that moment, since I was 18. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
so I just turned into Christy Lynn. And
Christy
then
Lynn.
and then when I got older, and got out on my own and stuff, I didn't go directly to college. I really wanted to try to pursue music. And, country didn't really pay much. I was doing, like I said, the Opry circuit, which didn't pay nothing except like tips and, carnivals, fairs. I would sing at like nursing homes or, anywhere that anybody would have me. And it just wasn't paying the bills. And at that point, I was living out on my own. So one day I just said, I need to find something else to do.
Yeah.
And so Craigslist had just started, like it had just come out. It was a brand new thing. And so I went on Craigslist and I found this ad for, an audition for a cover band singer. And I was like, well, I've never done this before, but I'm willing to try.
Oh,
And
are
so
we going into chapter two now?
I guess we are. Yes,
Like,
we
oh my
are.
God, you just jumped right into it. Like,
Yeah, I'm
cool. All
dominating the
right.
conversation. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
know.
a talker. I'm such a talker. Just tell me to hush and I will.
Like, all right, guys, we're about to get into chapter two because we just finished chapter one.
So chapter two. Okay. So
Oh,
I'm
well, hold
I'm
on. First, before we get into there, I actually should apologize because I should have introduced you as country music artist Christy Lynn. Because I mean, it seems like country has been such a passion and something that's been a part of your life for a very long time. And I'm like,
well,
I didn't even know that you were really that big on country or even a singer at the time. So,
chapter
hi
two, we
guys,
go
welcome
into a
to Rhythm
different
and Roads. We like to introduce you to Christy Lynn, country music artist. That's better.
genre. Well, in chapter two, you might have to introduce me as a different type of artist
Oh,
because
okay.
my world gets completely rocked. Um,
Hey, that's all good then. Let's continue this chapter two then. All
um,
right.
so I decide to answer this ad, and it was for a cover band singer, and I called them. We had a great rapport on the phone. They're like, "Yeah, we really want to hear you, but we do everything like top 40 from 70s, 80s, 90s, current 2000s. Can you do all that?" And of course, I'm lying. I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I can do whatever. Yeah, I just need money." And so like, okay, well, we're gonna give you a list of songs and we need you to learn these songs. And I was like, okay, none of them were country. They were all like pop and rock.
Oh
And
wow.
the pop stuff didn't scare me so much, because I think when I started off, doing opera, had a pretty wide range. I was like, well, I can do some of this 70s disco stuff where these girls are just going off the charts wailing. I can do that. But what scared me was they wanted to hear me do AC/DC. And Highway to Hell and Shook Me All Night Long were on this list. And I was like, what have I
Whoa.
gotten myself into? I mean, I grew up listening to that stuff. My mom and dad were
Yeah.
major like rockers, and so like we were always jamming rock around the house, more so than country, believe it or not. Um, so what did I do? I locked myself in my room again with that boombox and
Mm.
a CD that I had like ripped off Napster or something at the time,
Um.
and
Oh
I
yeah, Napster and LimeWire. Yeah.
yes. And so I played those songs on repeat over and over and over until I was like, well,
Oh
this is
my
good as it's gonna get.
God. I bet your neighbors were really big fans.
I know,
They're
right?
hearing you all night long, right?
Right? Uh, excuse me. And so anyway, I go audition. I get it. And that completely changed the trajectory of my career in my
Wow.
20s. I did the cover band scene in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, and I became known as like a rock singer. So I
Wow.
became known
That's
as
cool.
the chick that sang AC/DC and like Def Leppard and
Oh,
Led Zeppelin. Like those were like what we primarily did. And so when my first cover band disbanded, I went on to more like classic rock bands, and I did that for several years. And
wow.
that's
Very cool.
all of a sudden country was kind of left back in the dust. I mean, we might throw one or two country songs in there, but it was primarily rock. And
Yeah.
it was so much fun, and it just really expanded my repertoire. But then chapter three comes.
Oh, all right,
Here
guys,
we
we're
go.
into chapter 3 now.
Chapter three comes, and I think after about 5, 6 years of doing the cover band scene, I wanted something more, and I was kind of burnt out. And I felt like I had done all I could do in Texas. And so at that moment, it was like, where do I want to go? And I said, well, I kind of want to go back to college. And I kind of want to have something to fall back on in case this dream, doesn't work out. And so I have family in Northern California. My mom's side of the family lives out there. And they said, well, why don't you come live with us and go back to college and, figure things out from there. And I said, okay. So I actually ended up moving out to the Bay Area
Okay,
and
that's cool.
went back to college and
Good for
actually,
you. Nice.
yeah, yeah, I majored in hospitality management. So like I was
Wow.
managing a hotel in the Napa Valley area for a while, and that ended up leading to a completely different thing. I don't do at all anything related to my college degree, but I did graduate, and I actually ended up staying in California for about 12 years. I loved it so
Wow,
much.
12
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, and I actually got into the tech scene. So I ended up working for a bunch of .coms and doing tech work, and
Wow.
actually music kind of took a back seat for about 10 years. I took a
Really? You
hiatus.
took a break for 10 years?
I did because I got so focused on my career and making money
Wow.
and establishing myself, and um that's just, I don't know, it just kind of became the priority. As you get
Yeah.
older, I was like, oh, I need retirement, I need health benefits, I need, music doesn't provide all that, right? But then the company that I'm with now, actually, that I've been with for almost, gosh, 9, 10 years now. It was a really cool tech company, and we had a game room with a bunch of band equipment set up, and a bunch of guys would go down there and jam all the time on lunch breaks and after work and stuff. We do happy hours in this room. So one day I was like, hey, can I join you guys? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I got up and I sang a couple songs, and everyone was like, we didn't know you could do
Everyone's
that.
like, okay.
They're like, you're the quiet girl in the corner that always has her head buried in her computer. And because I've always been like real humble. I haven't
Yeah.
like tried. I don't want to be braggadocious or be like, oh, hey, I'm a singer. Look at me. Like it's just never been me. And so I never told anybody for, gosh, so many years that I
Wow.
sang. And honestly, I didn't know if I was ever going to go back to it or not because I was just so immersed in that scene. And so I don't know, something that day when I jammed out with those guys,
Mm.
something like triggered it, brought it back. And
Oh
then
man.
next thing you know, COVID hit in 2020. My company went fully remote, and I said, I can't afford California anymore. I'm going to go back to Texas.
Wow.
So I went back to Texas and waited it out. And while I was there at home, like everyone else in the world, I got that boombox back out. Actually, now we had YouTube and iTunes
Oh,
and
right.
stuff, but
Yeah.
hey, I still had my trusty boombox and,
That's
and all
good.
my CDs. And I tell you what, for a couple years, I sat there and I got my voice back. I found my passion
Wow.
and my love for music again. And then when the world kind of opened back up and it was safe to get back out there, I was like, I'm going to Vegas. I was like,
Oh,
I
wow.
love Vegas. That's where I'm meant to be. Because you when you're in like country music, you either, usually go to Nashville, or
Right.
if you want to do Broadway or something, you go to New York or whatever, or LA if you want to act. And
Yeah.
so me, I was like, No, I like Vegas. I always loved coming out here. I always loved visiting and having fun weekends and seeing shows out here. And I was like, I can do that. And
Did you know
so
anyone in Vegas before making the trip out here?
no,
Really? Just
no one, no
wow.
one. I would come out here by myself. Like
Oh,
I
that's
love to
cool.
travel by myself. It's just always been something that's kind of therapeutic for me.
That's cool, yeah.
Um, and this was a place that I'd always come back to when I felt like it always called me, And so finally I went home, I saved money, I paid off my car, and I said, okay, let's do this. So I drove out to Vegas. I drove a big old Penske truck with all my belongings
Oh
in
my
it.
God.
I
That's
had signed a lease on an
crazy.
apartment sight unseen. I had just seen it on the internet, and I just came out here with like a hope, a dream, a prayer, and a Penske truck full of all my stuff. And now here I am, and I'm doing it, and it's just been the most rewarding and amazing journey. And I'm just so
Wow.
like grateful and blessed, and I don't ever take any of it for granted. So that's a long 3 chapter, maybe even 4 chapter story.
What a
I'm gonna let you
journey. I mean,
talk
I
now.
love it. It was great. I mean, I didn't really have to ask a lot of questions. I just sit back with my coffee from Trader Joe's and just like go for it. Next, chapter two,
I'm a
three.
talker. What can I say?
Hey, I love it. Thank you.
I
I
can
mean,
spend
thank you.
hours on the phone with my friends, and I talk to my mama back home in Texas like every night. We talk for like an hour. It's crazy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Well, I'm a talker too. That's why I have Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas.
that's amazing.
But sometimes it's good to have, let the person talk a lot more than me ask questions a lot. Because they pretty much let you pretty much said everything. I was like, okay, guys, well that sums up the show. I'm
All
just
right,
like,
time to go.
I know, time to go. Thanks for watching. You know, but I gotta say, no, it was wow, no, what a journey. And I gotta say, like, oh, it's funny I said journey in here. I'm wearing a journey shirt. How
Love
ironic,
it.
right? Um, but yeah, that's the thing I really love about getting to know musicians and singers is sometimes, the calling of life will take you to different chapters and open bigger doors that you never thought were for you. And once you open those doors and you stepped in it, even if it feels very uncomfortable, very challenging, but it takes you to the purpose of what you love, the desire, what you love. And it's not an easy journey, right?
Yeah.
Going from country to rock, from rock, and then moving different cities. And it's just, man, like, but good for you, but one thing that I really was shocked to hear is that you took 10 years off.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah,
But
it was
yeah.
I never expected to take 10 years off. I expected that I was going to go to California, I was going to go to college, and then I was probably going to go back to Texas after 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, I tried to look around and see if there was a good like country music scene or a cover band scene, but in San Francisco, there's really not. There was a good scene for like alternative rock, like in the East Bay, like Oakland and Berkeley and stuff. I used to go to a lot of bars where you always see rock bands and alternative rock, but there was never really a place for me. And because I was already out there and established, had a great job, already had
Yeah.
friends, had family, I felt kind of stuck. I felt kind of like trapped and in this bubble. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just, I'm never gonna leave. I guess I'm meant to just not do music. And if I'm gonna be very vulnerable here with you and very transparent, that was at the height of when those shows like America's Got Talent, American Idol,
Mm.
and The Voice, and all those were happening, and it was hurtful to watch those shows
Yeah, I
because
bet. Yeah.
that's my soul, like that's that part of me that was always yearning to come out, and I would just like I couldn't even turn on the TV sometimes and like
Wow.
watch that stuff because it would hurt me so bad because I'd be
Yeah.
like, I should be on that stage, I should be doing that. But I think I had just gotten so caught up, in building this whole new life for myself, which, I do believe that God's timing is perfect. I believe
Mhm.
everything happens for a reason
Mhm.
because now looking back on that, now being out here in Las Vegas and having the career that I have now, I know that all that happened for a reason because
Yeah.
I needed to set myself up financially to be able to fund this dream. And that might sound kind of silly to some folks, but I work with a lot of young folks right now that are in their 20s and are out here, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing, if they're going to make rent or be able to go out because
Wow.
they don't have a gig lined up this week or next week, or they don't know what's happening. And for me, I feel like I don't have to worry about that. I've been so fortunate that I'm able to support myself financially and not have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. And so, the first year that I moved out here, I had to do a lot of investment. It was a lot of pounding the pavement, shaking hands, and that includes going out buying tickets to shows, buying drinks, buying food, paying for parking, as you know, in Vegas, because it's not free everywhere, you know,
True. Yeah.
tipping people. I mean, like, just it's, it costs money, and then to be able to put on a show, you got to pay your band members. You've got to, pay for hair and nails and tanning and makeup and costumes. And I'm very fortunate that I'm able to fund that thanks to going and getting my college degree and having a really cool job that I still do every day. I still
Wow, that's
work a daytime job and then have a part-time job at night and on weekends as a singer. So I feel really fortunate that did happen to me because I don't think that I'd be in the position that I am today had I not made that like detour to California and taken that hiatus for 10 years. But I'm definitely making up for lost time, I tell you what.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I want to add to is I know because you mentioned, I'm a believer as well, and when God mentions that He will bless you more than you know, but He will make up the time that you felt like you lost, and it feels like He sped up time for what you thought. Well, that was a lot of maybe 10 years I lost, but then what you're doing now feels like you've been doing it forever, and you feel that. And you're
Yeah,
like, God, I don't ever think about the 10 years that I missed out because he speeds things up in a way that makes you feel you've been doing this for a long time. And I
yes.
know he says that in the Bible where he will make up time for what we think we lost in a way
Yep.
that makes it feel very, because yeah, this is his plan. This is what he's doing. So
Yeah.
of course he's going to bless us in the end
Yep.
being, through the struggles of providing that time that we thought we lost. Because time to him is doesn't compare. To
Correct.
him doesn't even exist.
100%.
He's on his own timeline, not ours. So he's just yeah. So that's
Yep.
cool that you mentioned that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm obviously a very big believer. I'm a Christian, and I can tell you right now that everything that I ever dreamt of or prayed for, he's given back to me ten times.
Oh,
And I don't know what
amazing.
I did to deserve this, but I don't take it for granted. Every single day I wake up, I go on my balcony, I have my coffee, and that's when I say my morning prayers. And I also well, I mean, I talk to him and I tell him how grateful I am and I'm not taking any of this for granted and that I am doing what he put me on this earth to do. But in addition to that, I told you earlier that I had a vocal coach when I was a kid, and
Right.
he taught me opera, and then we graduated to country. And I actually ended up taking lessons from him from the time I was like 12 until I was 18 or 19 years old. And so we
Wow.
became like family over the years, and his family
Okay.
became my family. And I actually, over the years, gave him the title Godfather as my godfather because I
Oh,
moved
that's cool.
him. Well, he didn't have any biological children, and I always
Oh, I
kind of
see.
took that place as like a daughter to him. And so he'd always come to all my shows, him and his wife Pam, and um, we just had like a very unique, special relationship all these years. And I always go back to him for advice, whether it was on love life or career or. Or anything. Well, his name was Bill Bauer. And he actually ended up passing away a year ago in May.
Oh
And
man.
he was like a father figure to me, like I said. But one thing that I do every day when I go out and say my prayers is I talk to him because I feel like he's got a hand in all this. Because let me tell you something little funny thing here. Um, Before I moved to Vegas, I told you I love to travel. And I was kind of nervous about, should I get back into music? Should I get back on the stage? Should I do this? And I had just taken a trip to Miami for the first time, explored the Keys, and I was like, oh, I'm a water baby. I would just want to go live out there and be a mermaid. I just want to, be on the beach and I remember I got so excited and I went back to Dallas and I saw Bill. He was in a nursing home at this time, and it was not too long before I moved out here. But I said, Bill, I think I'm just gonna move to Florida, and I'm gonna like live on the beach and just become like a beach bum and a mermaid, and I'll find music again if it's meant to
Yeah.
be. And he gave me like the sternest look, and he just said, "And who are you gonna sing to, Christy? The Turtles and Dolphins?" And I was like, Like, oh my God, why did you say
Wow, I
that
can't
to
believe you
me?
said
He
that.
was like so stern with me, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You know you belong in Las Vegas, Christy." And I was
Whoa.
like, "You really think so?" He goes, "I've always thought that. I've always
Wow.
believed that." He's like, "You can travel to Florida." He goes, "It's not going to pick up legs and go anywhere." He's like, "You can travel there for vacation, but you need to go to Vegas, Christy. You are Vegas. You belong in Vegas." And I
That's
remember I
cool.
went home that night and I kind of like cried and I told my parents, I was like, Bill doesn't want me going to Florida. He wants me going to Vegas. And my mom and dad go, well, we agree with Bill. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, well, shoot. So,
Well,
um,
three against one. I guess
right. Well, it's
Vegas
funny
it
because
is.
like I ended up asking a couple of like my best friends, and they were like, yeah, we've all wanted to be supportive of you and your Florida ocean
Yeah.
girl dream, but they're like, we've always thought you should go to Vegas and give it a shot. And so I kind of, had to sit there and reflect and think about things. It was a lot to process. And I said, okay, fine. And I'm going to tell you right now, I came out here and it was the best decision. Bill was right. And I feel like he kind of guided me here. And so every day when I'm out there talking to God, I talk to Bill and I'm like, I know you had a hand in this. I know you're up there with sprinkling your little magic down on me.
Well, it's very
So
cool how God uses people in your life because I've heard similar stories from other artists and just people that, well, God will use certain, people for a season to influence to put a seed in them for where
correct.
they need to go. And then it's sad that sometimes they don't talk to this person anymore or something happens, like Bill. But just the fact that it's very interesting,
Yeah.
and in some testimonies I've heard, I'm like, wow, like yeah, God will send people your way for a reason, even if it's not for a long chapter, and just to open that door that in that,
Mhm.
so wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, I know you have something you want to share of some exciting news here in Vegas coming up in June. So
I
the
do.
platform is yours again. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Yes, so I actually just announced it this weekend at one of my shows, but I am doing my very first headliner show here in Vegas. It's on Saturday, June 20th. It's going to be at the
Whoa.
Composer's Room. I don't know
Wow.
if you've ever been there, but the Composer's Room is right over there on Maryland and Sahara.
Okay.
And yeah, I sing there quite often, and I've been on a few variety shows and things like that there.
Wow, no way.
But my dream has finally come
Wow.
true. I get my first headliner show. So it's Saturday, June 20th at 7 p.m. Tickets are not on sale yet. We actually just sent out the save a date flyer yesterday. So if you go on to Instagram, you'll see it. I actually just posted it yesterday. So more
Wow.
information to come. There's going to be more flyers coming, more information. But the show is actually called A Little Bit Country, A Little Bit Rock and Roll.
Oh,
So
I like that. Full title.
I know, and it actually suits me. And when I was talking to my producer about the show, it was actually his idea to say, look, he's like, you do country, you do rock. Let's show everybody both
Both
sides of you.
sides. Yeah.
So it's like everything that I did that I told you about all the different chapters and starting in, country and then moving to rock,
Yeah.
it's like it's all kind of coming full circle
That's
now. And I finally get
interesting.
to put it
Wow.
all together in a really cool show and tell my story. And the songs that I've chosen are going to be songs that mean something to me, like songs that I grew up singing or had like certain special moments in
Oh,
life
that's cool.
about.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that people will really want to hear my story and be interested in what I have to say and hear these wonderful songs by these wonderful artists. And I'm gonna have some guests and I might have some dancers. I might have,
Yeah.
just know it's gonna be lots of glitter. There's gonna be a lot of denim, a lot of glitter, a lot of glitz.
Yeah.
I gotta sprinkle that sparkle everywhere I can. But
Me
yeah,
too.
so a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, Saturday, June 20th at the Composer's Room here in Las Vegas.
Well, Christy, I have to say congratulations. And if I had a drink in my hand, I would say cheers. But for right now, it's the Trader Joe's French Vanilla Cold Brew Coffee. So cheers to you on that.
Oh,
Congratulations to you. Salute.
thank you. I have my Walmart bottled
Hey,
water,
that works too.
and I'll cheers to that.
Oh,
Salute.
that's awesome. Yeah, very you deserve it. Thank you so much for sharing that
Oh,
exciting news. I would love to go see your show. I mean, and the thing is, what really is mind blowing is the fact that how the country and the rock came together years later,
yeah.
without you even knowing that it was going to lead to a show. You know what I mean? And there's that saying, back to the Bible again, which I believe where Jesus says, "You don't understand what I'm doing right now, but you will later."
Yes.
So it doesn't mean it always means something harsh. It could just mean like, this is for your own good. Just
Hmm.
trust me on this. You
Yes.
understand why, because you're into country, and all of a sudden this opportunity to sing rock came up, and you're like, but why? I want country. And then now look, years later,
I
an
know.
incredible door has opened for you, and that's just God showing you just there's more to come.
Yeah.
So wow.
God is great. He has
Oh
blessed
yeah,
me in
happy
so
for you.
many ways. And like I said, I don't take any of it for granted. I know I'm very blessed. And yeah, I'm just going to do the best I can and do everything He put me on this earth to do. I know this is my
Amen.
purpose to share music. And yeah, and honestly, I'd love to have you at the show. If you would like to come, I'd love to have you as my special guest. So
Oh,
you just let me
please, thank
know and I will
you.
get you a ticket and yeah, I'd love for you to be there.
Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will love to be there on the grand opening day, June 20th, right? Yeah,
Yes.
June 20th. All right. Well, yes, thank you so much for that. And
Yeah.
Christy, before we close on this episode, it's been such a blessing to have you on and sharing your journey. And it just, that's the thing about Rhythm and Roads is that we share not just the highlight, right? It's not about the sunshine and the flowers blooming and beautiful golden roads. It's all about also the challenges, the
Sure.
setbacks, the wonder, the questioning, and then leading to where you're at now. Because that shows other people that, if one can do it, someone else can do it, and not to give up. And if it's for you, it will be for you. And if there's something else for you, it will come to you naturally, where you don't have to fight it, you don't have to force it. What's for you will find you. And, I believe God always has a certain purpose for everyone. And sometimes we do have to go through some challenges just to get there. So your story is definitely an inspiration. So, wow, so cool.
Thank you so much.
So what are
Well,
the links for people to find you and follow you?
yeah, so right now, I'm on Instagram, so you can find me under Christi Lynn Music. Okay. I am working on getting other socials up. I'm just
Okay.
so busy, but I do. I'm gonna have a Facebook. I'm gonna get a YouTube, and I've already created all my logins, for the TikToks and the YouTubes and all that. It's just a
Oh,
matter of
cool.
finding the time to do it, between working a full-time job and then being a part-time singer and putting on this show. It's a matter of finding the time. So I need to just hire somebody. I might need to hire like a social media manager to do all that for me.
Why not?
But
Yeah.
for now, yeah, Instagram is my primary Christi Lynn music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure.
Yeah. And for them to stay updated, it's going to be on through Instagram as well for the shows when the tickets are going to be available and all that for June
Correct.
20th and so on.
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right, cool. I'm
Yeah.
interested. Do you have any more copies of that original CD that you showed me earlier in the show?
I do. Would you like one?
I would love one, but I was going to say if anyone wanted to purchase one too, I mean, is that something that's an option where they can contact you or is that
Yeah.
very limited?
Oh, no, no. Anybody that wants one can reach out to me on Instagram. Just send me a DM and I'm happy to get a copy to them. I'm also going to sell them at my show
Oh, you are
as
too. Okay,
well.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was like an exclusive special
Oh,
one time
no.
only
Oh,
CD you have.
no, no. In fact, give me your address and I'll send you one.
Okay. Or I can even meet you when we're in Vegas.
Or
Might as well meet up with
actually,
you.
yeah, let's just meet. Let's just meet up and have a coffee in
Hey,
person.
that's right. Or even have a champagne just to toast to your new
Heck
journey.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
because
do
I'm already
it.
having coffee. So, but, all right, guys. Well, this is Joshua Jacob with Rhythm and Roads Las Vegas. If you'd like to share your story on Rhythm and Roads, my Instagram is Joshua Jacob Official. Feel free to contact me and send me a DM. And we love to have you share your story as well. I believe every story matters and every story can impact someone's life. So I would love to have you on the show and share just whatever you want to share that's on your heart. So. And all right, Christy Lynn, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank
And congrats again on your new show, June 20th.
thank you,
All right, guys.
Joshua.
And
Thanks for
yeah.
having me. It
Nope.
was such a pleasure to meet you and to talk to you today.
Oh, and yes, thank you. Likewise, it was a pleasure meeting you as well over Zoom and hopefully in person soon.
Yes,
All right,
definitely.
guys, this is Joshua Jacob, Rhythm and Roads, Las Vegas.